Thank you so much. I feel honored to have you, Lawrence, and I want you to take this opportunity to introduce yourself. I know you told me that you once became a master of ceremony, and so I know you are equal to the task. Introduce yourself, tell us where you are, tell us where you come from, and where you came from back in Kenya.
Thank you again, Captain. The master of ceremony thing was just once. I hear you took over. You took over from there, and that's why I never got invited again. I hear you're a better MC than I am. My name is Lawrence Muraya. I'm in Silver Spring, Maryland, via Nakuru County. I've been in the U.S. now going on to 24 years, but I don't feel like it's a long time because I found other Kenyans here. So the ones who are here before make us feel like we just came recently. So this is home, and Nakuru is home, Kenya is home. You know, your heart never leaves your country.
That is very good. So there's a lot that we can discuss. Before we start off, let's first of all introduce the organization that we just talked about, or rather that we just mentioned. I know that people fear when it comes to the issues of afterlife. So can you please give us a brief explanation or a brief background of this organization, so that people will know, the Africa Welfare Association. Give us a brief background of what it is all about.
Sure. First of all, Africa Welfare Association is a member of the One Voice. You mentioned other members who are watching tonight, and greetings to all of you. The One Voice is instrumental in bringing together organizations in the diaspora. As we all know, we are scattered everywhere, and we have numerous organizations all trying to do good things. But One Voice has tried to bring us all together. I think as of today, we are about 40 different organizations in different continents, and we continue to grow. You know, as we say, umoja ni nguvu. So One Voice is a non-political organization that is an umbrella organization for all of us, and we are hoping to achieve good things together. Now on to AWA. This has been in formation, believe it or not, since 2006. It took us 10 years to find a solution that was sustainable. We realized back then that the problem of repatriation when somebody passes away in the diaspora was growing to be not manageable easily through fundraising, through GoFundMe or savings. So we started looking at solutions that are available in the market. And the best solution really is using insurance. It took us 10 years to find an insurance company that would agree to work with us, because what we are doing here has never been done. Mm-hmm. We talked to major companies in the US, in Europe, but the interesting thing is they told us, go and try it for 2 years. After that, come back, we'll look at the numbers, and then we can insure you, but you have a great idea. And it felt like when kids graduate from school and they go to look for a job and they say you have no experience, and you wonder, where are these people going to get experience? So we were left scratching. Where are we going to get this experience that these major insurance companies want? So at one time, I was about to give up about 4 years ago or 5 years ago. And I traveled to Nairobi, feeling dejected. I met a good friend of mine on his way to Dar es Salaam. And I just said, you know what, this is a last-ditch effort. I'm going to ask him, because he's in the industry. I'm going to ask him if he can connect me to people who can lend us a year in Europe. Mm-hmm. And he listened and liked the idea. And he says, give me, the flight time to Dar es Salaam. I'll come back to you. Within 24 hours, he had assembled a team in Mauritius and in London. And with that, we had a solution. They believed in what we had. I'm very proud of that, because a lot of times we're told, Africans, you can solve your problems. And this is a good example where we have an African problem. We have African companies coming together, understanding the problem. and came up with a solution. The second challenge we had was building a platform that was dynamic, because with AWA, the application that you have in the US is the same that you use in China, Australia. It's the same platform. I'll not mention the name of the company, but a very major company in Silicon Valley gave up on trying to develop the platform. They threw their hands up. They said, we can't manage this. They had developed 80% according to them, but it was 80% in the wrong direction. You're not going to believe where we found a solution. A young man in Keno took it up, built it all the way with Hyperledger technology. That's the technology they use for Bitcoin. So I'm extremely proud to say that here is a Kenyan idea, solving a problem for the Africans in the diaspora, using technology built in Keno. And here we are today. So I'm very proud of what we've been able to achieve up to date. It doesn't mean we're there yet in terms of what we want to achieve. I do recognize that we are still educating people, we are still reaching out people, and this is a good forum to have discussions with members of the diaspora.
Thank you so much. I wish to salute and celebrate the members of the Diaspora One Voice, Dr. Shiri, for ensuring that we get great people coming in to educate and inform the listeners on what we are doing in the diaspora. Kenyans are doing great things in the diaspora wherever they are. It is not only in the US. We have other countries where Kenyans are working and living, and that is very important. Now, with us tonight is Lawrence Muraya. Lawrence Muraya from Nakuru County, but right now based in Maryland, here in the US. And he is the executive director of AWI, or AWA. I was trying to use the simplest thing. I say AWA. Okay, Africa Welfare Association. And I wish to state that when he mentioned what they are doing or what they have been doing, I thought this is a very important. It's a very important concept. So many Kenyans or so many Africans in the diaspora, but when they require some united force, sometimes we suffer, we struggle, we try to raise funds to even put to rest or give our last respect to one of us. And sometimes it becomes very, very hard. People gather and try to fundraise, and it all depends with where you go to church, where you work, where you stay, or who you fellowship with, either at home or how much money you have in your pocket. And it becomes very hard. And I think tonight we are going to get some secrets behind this. So tell us, Abwana Lawrence, a background of the problem that you found, and then you thought the best thing is, let me look for a solution.
Well, I wasn't even looking for a solution. I was looking for a way to isolate myself from being invited every Saturday to a fundraiser. I used to get invited to fundraisers, and as a community, you attend even if you didn't know the person. And then one day I conducted a very simple test where I walked to a fellow Kenyan, and I told him, I have Chango to go for this weekend, and can he give me money? He did not even ask who. He just reached in his wallet and gave me $50. And then I told him, no, I was just testing you. And he was not happy with that. I said, this is the problem we have. We are willing to help. We will help anybody and everybody, but we don't have a good structure to do it. We are giving people. I don't think we fail to send our loved ones home, but now we're struggling. So we had to find a solution. As our numbers increase in the diaspora, using the US as an example, you would not believe we're spending about $4 million through the GoFundMe and savings and so forth to send our loved ones home, to lay them to rest in the US. With our program, instead of spending 4 million, would be spending about 2% of that figure. So what it means is that every year, the Kenyan diaspora in the US alone is $4 million poorer. It doesn't seem like 4 million is a big figure, but we don't see it that way because it's a $20 that you give and the other person gives every other weekend. I'm not saying that we don't give it. I just want to show the power that we have as diaspora and a smarter way to achieve what we want to achieve. As a matter of fact, with AWA, you will be able to achieve more because when we do the GoFundMe to send a loved one departed home, there are other expenses that are not taken care of. So AWA takes care right from the funeral home. When somebody passes on, we don't want the family to dip in their savings or worry about funding or file a claim. We want to take over from there. Once we're notified, we'll be in touch with the funeral home. We'll work with the family. We'll work with the embassy. We book the airline, and working with our brother in Dallas, Bedford Memorial, we will take somebody up to the final resting place. So we only want the family to grieve, for their loved one without having necessarily to worry. How are we going to achieve? Are his friends or her friends going to come through? So that's the burden we wanted to remove from the community. Because as you alluded to, if people don't know you, it takes a long time to fundraise. We had a case in Jersey where 2 people lost their loved ones. One was very well known. We raised $60,000. The other one, we struggled to get to $3,000 because he wasn't known. Now, AWA equalizes that because we pay the same benefits. We'll pay the funeral home. It doesn't matter how much it is, though we do have a limit of 50,000. Depending on the membership, we will give people air tickets to take their loved ones home and come back to the US because this is home for them. We no longer go home one way. So that was the genesis of AWA and the solution that we put in place.
Thank you.
Key point here is we wanted to find a solution that is sustainable and affordable. And I believe that's what we have.
Let me come to the common concept of a culture that we have seen, and I have worked in the media for close to 15 years, and I can say that it's a culture that is not very good, but we tend to ignore the issue of coming together when we are doing very well, seemingly, and only come together when there is a problem. And this has costed us a lot. As the African Welfare or the Africa Welfare Association, have you been able to solve this issue of cultural the issues that we kind of believe in? We don't want to come together. We are well, we are okay, we are successful, friends will come, church will come.
I think that's going to be with us. And it's a mindset. Like many other things, we need to change how we view things, how we think of things. Personally, how I view it, if there is a thing that we know is not going to change, then we have to change how we think about it. Other than just keep on trying to change, the same thing over and over, it's not going to change. What you talked about, that there's some people who maybe will be viewed as being successful and therefore keep away from people. I think it stems from the relationship that we've had with, even back home, those who seem to be doing okay and those who don't seem, or those who are struggling. It's a relationship that will continue because one views the other as a savior, and the other one sees another one as probably somebody who's a pest that just wants something from me. And there is a lack of understanding. But because these are personal relationships, they're not communal-based as such, it is up to us to say, what can I do as an individual to understand and help those who have less? Now, there are a lot of people who pride themselves in helping others, and there are some, and we can't fault them. That's just their nature. We just have to appreciate everybody, and let those who are carrying on with a good task, we have to applaud them. Those who don't, we can encourage them. And at AWA, that is something that we also do, though we prefer to do it quietly. AWA has actually a nonprofit sister company, which has worked in Nigeria, Rwanda, Kenya, and as I mentioned, having come from Nakuru, in 14 years that we've done this, I've never done something in Nakuru because I didn't want somebody to come and say, here's Lawrence taking our money and taking it to his hometown. We have those issues that we can spend a whole night talking about. But next year, we're going to start doing something in my hometown, and I'm going to invite like-minded people from Nakuru to take care of those people I call unseen people. There are people in our communities that we never see. Ask yourself, those young men we call parking boys or girls, where do they sleep every night? If it was you or anybody watching, tonight you have a blanket or you had a blanket already. If you ever slept out in the streets, it's because maybe you were coming from somewhere, you slept in a car, but you did it maybe once in your life. These kids, that is their home tonight, tomorrow, and the day after. And nobody really seems to see them. Those are the people I call unseen. And I think humanity calls for you to help such people. All they're lacking is an opportunity. We grew up thinking that those are bad kids. We call them names and all that. They're just homeless. And even if they ran away from home, we have to understand, I don't think anybody wants to run away from the comfort of a blanket to sleep in the cold night after night. So at AWA, that is something that we take very seriously. I'm passionate about that aspect. And anybody can reach me if they're from Nakuru, or even if you're not from Nakuru, reach out to us. Tell us we have a similar problem. Let's do it. And I say that because once upon a time, somebody said, oh, why don't you come and do this in Eldoret? I said, you're from Eldoret. Why don't we do it with you? Why don't we stop pointing things we should go and do? Join us. Let's go and do them. The person from Kigali who we helped, and they now have a lot of cows. They used to raise money, buy a cow for a group of women. Now they have a herd of cattle, and they are doing well. But the most odd thing, I've never met that lady. We would pass each other in the streets. So I do enjoy helping people that we don't know. You don't have to help the people you know. It's more gratifying when you do something for people who you probably don't meet.
Thank you so much. Now, somebody would be asking, I have the current situation of organizations that are called the benevolence, which are so many. So they would ask, okay, why do I need to be a member of the AWA?
That's a good question, Captain. The benevolent funds do play a huge role in the community. They've managed to help people, as we say, umoja ni nguvu, so many hands make light work. So they've been able to carry that task. And they can be members of AWA because we offer special rates to those who come as a group. Because they're already sensitizing the community and actually tackling the problem, we want to help them to be sustainable and affordable. One of the drawbacks, and I don't mean to knock any benevolent fund, is that they cannot project. They can't have enough reserves because they're not insured. So in other words, they are the insurance company. So if there was, let's say, for example, a benevolent fund has $100,000, which is commendable. What happens if 5 people were to pass on, which is possible? What are they going to do? They might have money on hand to pay, but then they have to replenish that money. And that is a difficult part because they're relying on members to willingly open their wallets and replenish. Now, you have no control when I give my contribution or whether I give it at all. So benevolent funds would work very well if they were corporate-based, where the employer has your paycheck and they're able to deduct that money directly. So that is where we talk to benevolent funds and you say, yes, you've collected this money. The money you've collected is enough to give you membership, to guarantee your members this benefit. And therefore, you don't have to worry, because we've had cases of benevolent funds where it's time to pay out, but they can't pay out the agreed amount because it's not there. And it's not there because some members didn't put in money. So it develops some, bad blood, and then people start walking away. So with AWA, it's like your car insurance. Can you imagine if you had a problem with your car and when it's time to be fixed, the insurance company says, well, Captain, we can't really fix your car until maybe next week or the week after because we fixed Joe's car last week. You'd believe it. You'd say, why? I paid you, for my car. So AWA membership is guaranteed and it is specific to you, regardless of how many members are there and regardless of how many members we have taken home.
This is good. For those people who are joining us, together with us tonight is Lawrence Muraya, who is the Executive Director of Africa Welfare Association, AWA, which is a pioneer provider of services to its diaspora members. In the event of a loss of a loved one, and we are going to get more information. This program is brought to you by the Global Diaspora One Voice Consortium and Foundation. And I want to salute all the members of the Global Diaspora One Voice, led by Dr. Shiri. I see Dr. Lucy Mackenzie, who was our guest last week. I see Professor Ndiangui. Then I see Professor Gerono. I see all of you. And I want to appreciate all the comments. Monica Bukinya from Denver, Colorado. Hally John, thank you so much. Hadassah Esther from Seattle, Washington. Grace Awero from California, thank you so much. Josephine Wanjiro, asante sana. Lydia Awakamau, thank you muno. Dallas, Texas, locked. Wanjiko Maj from Florida, thank you so much, Wanjiko. And Salam Captain. By the way, for those people who didn't know, yesterday we had a campaign of somebody who is holed up in India, and by today, according to what the message I received, our people had given up to 347,000 Kenya shillings. And I'm happy because of that. That is very good, and I want to appreciate the people who sent the money to our brother who is stuck in India because of a kidney failure. Rahab Raymax, thank you so much. I see Betty Kish, thank you so much from Boston, Massachusetts. Peter Ndiangui, thank you. Modogo Ituom, Elaine, Sante Sana. Bishop Mehemehe from Thailand, thank you so much. Karoshi, our friend, our member from Massachusetts, Boston. Rafki Londo, thank you so much. Mzee Wakazi, I salute you when I see you. I see success. Thank you so much, Raf. Nice to see you. And he says, good to see my friend, Bwana Lawrence Muraya. Wangeshi Rachel from Sunset, guest Sunset Holiday Homes. She is based in Seattle, Washington. Thank you so much. Mary Size, nice to see you. Steve Daniels from Ohio. Thank you so much. And let's continue to bring in others. Jane Moshene, thank you so much. I see others who are behind the scenes. Maggie Maisha, Sante Sana, Professor. Mr. Muraya, could not agree more with you. We need to appreciate and support each other. Let's extend the program from Nakuru to Elgeyo Marakwet. Now that's a Professor Gerono right there. Jeff Melodies, thank you so much from Banana, Ndani Kabisa. Regina Mwangi, thank you. Regina Mwangi, thank you so much. We bring in information and I know it becomes good. Jen Houston, Dulcie Nemo, how are you? Steve Daniels, is this meant for members who pass on or in the diaspora? We are going to get that information right now. Let us continue. But before then, let me get one information passed here so that we will get some behind the scenes, some background, and I think this will be good. So, okay, very good, very, very good. I was trying to get to the website. Yes, here we go. Here we go. Okay. You know, it's important to... All right. Now, that is the website. I think... Yeah, that's the website. It's Africa Welfare Association. You can get to the website right away so that you can even hear what we are talking about. It's a beautiful website giving you a peace of mind, no more fundraising. This is the information about AWA or AWA, the African Welfare Association, whatever they do, and we are going to get all this information right away. We are privileged to have the executive director right here with us, the Africa Welfare Association. Let's talk about the membership.
Sure. Before we do that, I want to appreciate my brother Ralph. And it's because you said something, he's a man of success. A little story. When we came to this country, we'd be invited to many events. And I can say here publicly that anywhere I went and I saw Ralph, I knew that was an event. That's the right place to be. I would not doubt, because you get invited to places and you're not sure what is it about, who are these people. The moment I saw Ralph is attending, then I have the confidence. So he's a man of success. And to my sister, Professor Gerono, yes, twende Elgeyo Marakwet. Uko ni nyumbani pia. So we can do that. So AWA membership is open to anybody in the diaspora. So as long as you are not in your home country, you could be South African in Nigeria, you could be Zimbabwe in Kenya. As long as you're not in your home country, you are eligible. And it is open to anybody. We do not exclude anybody for any reason. We do not have an age limit. The only thing we have for people who are more experienced, those are people who have 50 years of experience and more. We do have a very simple medical questionnaire. It's not intrusive. It is just for the underwriters to know whether the premium is enough, because we do not want to deny services to anybody because of a condition. So if you tell us, look, I do have this or that, you'll still be covered. But they might tell you, maybe add a little bit. But so far, since we started, I've never seen them tell anybody add. With what we do and insurance, and those who've done insurance understand, a lot of times we think that if we withhold information and get the lowest rate, that is good for us. Somebody I knew not too long ago had this fancy car. They did a lot of things, but because the insurance premium was going to be high, they decided they're not going to tell the insurance about certain things. Unfortunately, the car was stolen, and the insurance said, we did not know about those other things. So we will only give you the basic car as you had. This is somebody who spent thousands to spruce up his vehicle. So it is important to tell insurance folks exactly as it is. It's like when you go to the doctor. If you have a pain and you want to be treated, you have to say everything. Otherwise, how is the doctor going to take care of you? You'll still have the persisting problem. Now, on to membership. As I said, it's open to everybody. But we're going to take the example of a young person between the age of 18 and 35, 18 being the age that you can enter into a contract legally. Mm-hmm. For one whole year, person within that age bracket, and I know most of you watching and listening are that age bracket, it's only $90 a year, nothing more. $90 will give you the full benefits. And what are those benefits? In case of death, we will pay from the funeral home, we'll pay for the casket, we'll pay for transportation. We're going to pay for everything required to get you to your final resting place. And all it takes is $90 a month. That's all it takes. So how much do we pay? I have to mention, we don't give people that money. We will pay all the expenses. We don't want people to pay and claim. We don't want people to spend their savings or wait for friends to come up with the money. We will spend up to $50,000 to take anyone home. Now, we've done this for a couple of years, so I can also tell you 50,000, it's an amount that nobody will reach, not at least in the next 30 years. But we had 50,000 so that our prices stay as they are for another 20 years. We don't want to keep on saying, next year we're increasing, the following year, our prices are going to remain as they are. If anything, they might come lower. As we continue finding the better partners, we might lower the prices. So $90, you get all those benefits. We pay for everything. We work with the embassy. We liaise with the family. In the event that it's our Muslim brothers or sisters who are required to be laid to rest within a stipulated time, those are the only people we expect to call us and say, we want to file a claim, because a 24-hour period might not be enough for us to process the payments. But when you look at it, the outlay is not as much as what other people spend, upwards of $12,000 sending somebody home. If somebody is being laid to rest, say in the US, within 24 hours, that cost is usually maybe $3,000. I might be wrong, but we're able to cover that. AWA pays up to $15,000 for people to be cremated or laid to rest in their country of residence, be it the US, Australia, whatever it is. The only one that we've had a challenge with, and fortunately nobody has passed on, is Canada, because in Canada we learned that in the winter, they do not bury people because the ground is so hard. I know it's the whole of Canada, but that is what I was advised when I went there. And the Kenyans in Canada told me, are you going to pay for the funeral home for 3 months? So when we have to do that, yes, we'll do that. Our work is to take away the burden. It's not to increase your pain. We want to take away the pain.
That is good. Let's talk about the people who are, the age brackets, because
Yes.
you said the starting contribution or investment for life is $90 per year. And what about those who are over the age of 35 or over 50 years experience, like you just put it?
Yes, yeah, we don't say people are old, they're just experienced. So I'll give, I think most people we've seen fall between the ages of 36 to 45. Mm-hmm. Those ones are $99. And these are annual figures that I'm giving you. But if, let's say, that somebody in that age group, 36 to 45, has a spouse, then together they'll pay $153. Supposing they have 2 children, they'll pay $230 a year. So we have 4 categories, which is a single person, a single parent, and 2 children. We count 2 children under the age of 21, can stay on as dependents. Couples only, 2 adults. We don't ask for proof whether people are, you tell us this is my spouse, we have no questions. And then we have a family tier, which is a couple plus 2 children under the age of 21. Now, supposing somebody has 3, additional child is $54 per year. So you can see right there that if somebody is about the age of 36 to 45, they'd only spend $284 a year. That works out to less than $1 a day. So that's how cheap our membership is. We've had people who say these rates are low. I mean, sorry, they're high. You should charge more. And we said, no, our rates are calculated by an actuarist. We didn't come up with them. We didn't just decide this is what diaspora could afford. In fact, we want to make them lower. The lower they are, the more service we can provide to people. I might have forgotten to mention that actually AWA is a nonprofit. We're not here to make money. We're here to offer a service to the community.
Wow, that is interesting. Let me put that one right there. It is clear in the on the website. That is Africa Welfare Association .org. The age brackets that is 18 to 35, single 18 plus 90, and then single parent adult plus a maximum of 2 children under the age of 21. And there is a disclaimer down there that is additional child under the age of 21, it's 54. I see couples, 2 adults, that is 150 for 18 to 35, and the family couple plus maximum number of 2 children under the age of 21. And it goes like that if you are 71 to 75 years of experience, then it goes to 163. If you're just yourself, and I know there are people who are like that, just themselves, single parent, adult plus a maximum of 2 children under the age of 21. And then I think this is right and clear information right there. I don't know whether you have anything to add in terms of this.
What I'd like to add, and this is a special offer, just because of your show. It's my first time on this show, and I'm excited to be here. So anybody who's watching, listening, and joins today because of this show, we're going to give you a 50% discount of this very low rates.
Can somebody say amen?
So tonight or tomorrow morning when we wake up and see that you registered and it is because of this show, whatever you paid, you're going to get 50% back. So take advantage of it.
That is awesome. I hope Washo De Rango, you are listening. I hope Professor Rotich, you are listening. I hope that it is not per year. This is, no, is it per year or per month? The 90 is per year, yeah?
Per year, yes.
That is good. I hope Faith Wahari, you had that. Suangaina, my dear, please, you better get into this one, and I know this will be good. Let us talk about the benefits. The benefits, because I think this is where very many people ask, okay, I pay 90 bucks, or I pay that much. How do I, what are the benefits? Let's start with this one.
Sure. So our benefits for repatriation when somebody passes on, AWA will pay up to 50,000. So keep in mind again, this is not cash we give people. This is cash that we will work with Mr. Nganga. We'll pay Mr. Nganga to make sure that the families do not have to expend any money at all for the funeral expenses, so that the departed loved one can be transported home up to a place of rest. So we'll pay everything. Additional expenses paid in home country will give people $2,000 equivalent in whatever currency. If you go to Angola, you will get the currency in Angola. And this was an amount that we thought would be enough to get somebody to any part of the country. So you can use that money to hire a car, for accommodation, for food. There are no questions asked. Again, we want to take away the burden. We know their expenses even when you get home. So you get an equivalent of $2,000. Now, if you join as a family, the spouse and the children also get an air ticket. I have to mention that this is not those gimmicks where you see people saying, oh, you want an air ticket. And when you try and use it, say, well, now you have to pay taxes. And we all know taxes sometimes can be higher than the fare. If you ever look at your ticket, you could be going to Kenya, it's $1,500. 1,000 is government's taking the money. Your fare is 500. So when people give tickets, they say, well, now you pay the taxes. AWA will give you a ticket that you can board a plane with without shelling out another coin. So that is a guarantee. And it is a return air ticket, regardless of the season. There is no high season. If it's time to go, then you need to go. We'll provide you that ticket.
Very good. Now, let us look at the comparison, because somebody is sending me a message here and tells me that he has been on the benevolence. You had mentioned it, but I would wish you to repeat again and speak about the advantage of joining or Africa Welfare Association, and not just saying I'm a member of a benevolence. You also mentioned earlier that a benevolence or group can be a member of Africa Welfare Association. Please insist on that.
Yeah, precisely. Thank you, Captain. So we, with benevolent funds and other groups, religious groups, women groups, and all that, we do offer special rates. Now, those rates are dependent on the composition of the group. So we are not able to publish the rates and say, if you're in a benevolent, this is what you guys are going to pay. Composition of people is different, the number of people is different, and all that. So we normally ask those ones to contact us. Then we shall do an evaluation with the underwriters and see what is the correct price. Now, for sure, it's going to be less than what you put up because they're coming in as a group. One of the things that we've had a challenge is when we talk to groups, then they agree to come in, but because they do not have a single payer, that has posed some challenges, but we are working through that. Those are teething problems. And that's because even in a group, it's individuals who will have to give their card and say, yes, I want to join. Now, other groups have a slightly better organization. They do have a system of collecting money from their members, and they have been collecting money consistently. So those ones then would see benefit, directly when they have come as a single payer. But we work with all groups. It's about discussing. We are not competition. We complement each other. They are already talking about the problem. We are facing the same problem, but we are finding better ways to solve the problem. And together, we can alleviate the problem that we have in the diaspora and stop spending so much money. If you look again at the figures I said, we spend maybe close to $4 million. The benevolent funds are also giving out that money to make the 4 million. But remember I said that we could spend maybe 2% of that 4 million. So with 100,000, we could do the same and more with 100,000 than spending the 4 million. So that is money that will remain in people's pockets.
Let's talk about the process of becoming a member. And I know there are people who are willing to register. And when you mentioned about the process, please remember the Kenyans or other Africans who are in the other diaspora, countries. Like there's so many Kenyans in Dubai, so many Kenyans in Saudi Arabia, so many Kenyans in Beirut. They are listening.
Right. The process is very simple and straightforward. Now, to keep our low prices, we decided that we are only going to be online based. We do not mail you anything, even the card, it's all electronic. So it takes maybe 90 seconds to go and enroll. All we need is your name, your email address, phone number, next of kin, and then you go on to pay. If you have a family, of course, you will list the members of your family. Now, what we remind people is, yes, you're a member of AWA, but as you plan for other things in your life, tell somebody that you have this membership. Because if I went today, you have no way of knowing unless somebody tells you or you're in my house. So even if you're a member, we cannot know until we are informed. So it is you, Ujipanga, you tell somebody, I have this membership and this is what it does. Because your next of kin or family is the one that will contact us in the event of, somebody passing on. But we do not ask for government issued IDs. We don't ask for passports. We do not look at your status. As far as we're concerned, we're Africans in the diaspora. Well, whoever says we're illegal, I don't know what an illegal person looks like. It's just that your papers are not in order. But legally, you're a person. That's what we look for. Are you a person that can pay premiums? Yes, you're covered, regardless of what your host country says or labels you. Those are not things that we look at.
Thank you. So the process of becoming a member of the Africa Welfare Association is very simple. Just go to the website. I think I put. I tagged the website right there, and then maybe Lawrence will be able to give us the contacts or the telephone numbers, if any, and then the only thing they require are your details, and then you get more information as you continue. There is the question of beneficiaries. If I become a member, who are the beneficiaries? Do my relatives, my brothers, my sisters, all those, the way we carry the whole lineage?
That's a good question. And people have asked us, can I cover my brother at home and all that? It's not that we don't want to cover people in their home countries. There are rules and regulations we have to adhere to. And moreover, there are cheaper solutions. For example, in Kenya. So there'll be no need for you to buy something in the diaspora that you could find in Kenya that is cheaper and for that market. So we direct people to where to go and purchase that.
That is good. I don't know whether there is any question. Any question. If at all you have any question, you can just send it here. I'll be able to ask. But I want to mention Stella Morine, Pauline Kaigahe, fellow AWA member here. Definitely peace of mind. I added my mom and my daughter too. The other one is Steve Daniels. I guess the question has been answered. Does it cover family back home? The other one is Wanjiko Marge, great concept, brilliant mind, a talk of peace of mind. I think that is important. Pauline Kahiga, been an AWA member for last 2 years, and this has really given me total peace of mind. Thanks for talking about taking this initiative and giving these services to diaspora. Robert Shiri Daktari, and the president of the Global One Voice Consortium, right here, Diaspora One Voice, says, thank you, Captain and Lawrence. The presentation of much benefit to the diaspora community. Hally John says, I like it. He is in St. Louis, Missouri. Stella Morine, thank you so much, and answers a professor and says it is 90 per year. Thank you so much. Faith, thank you. Karibu sana. Mumina joya kamara. But there's something very good for you. Now, let's see. Is there any question? Any question? Great information, Lawrence. Thank you too. Thank you so much for sharing this valuable information. Evelyn, thank you so much. My goodness. Evelyn, where have you been? Many, many years. Evelyn Opani, yeah? This is great information, Lawrence. I am a member, and so is my mom. Now, repeat about the process of membership, and please, for people who want to join, like the people who have not joined, tell them that there is a 50% discount for tonight.
Actually, I can tell you one person is getting 50%. Pastor Kamau is going to be getting 50%. He just joined. Oh. So it is happening. So take advantage of it. You don't have to do it right away, but I'll be looking at our registration, and whatever I see between now and tomorrow morning, we'll get 50%. But the process of joining is very simple. You just go to the website, www.africawelfareassociation.org. It takes about 2 minutes. Now, if you struggle with it, we are available on WhatsApp, +1 202 999 9175.
Oh my goodness.
We'll be able to help you and move the process along. Fairly simple.
Repeat again, because I would want to have somebody type it down there for us.
Sure. So to become a member, like Evelyn, Pauline, and I think I had Stella have done, it's very, very straightforward. Visit our website. It's www.africawelfareassociation.org. And when you get there, just click on registration. Very simple. And your information stays private. One thing we promise people, we will never, ever sell your information, no matter how much we're offered. Thank you for putting up the numbers. If you want to call us, it is +1 202 587 5639. WhatsApp, which is what is preferred, +1 202 999 9175. But remember your information. You'll never see any solicitation from us. This is a non-profit, and we will keep our promise to you.
Thank you so much. I want to take this opportunity to appreciate you, Lawrence Muraya, the Executive Director of Africa Welfare Association. And I want to say this has been very, very informative and also helpful. We have seen so many Kenyans suffering in the diaspora. Somebody may have been working, you have been working, you have everything. But the minute death comes, then even your money may not help you. Sometimes it is important to have these organizations, and the money you also make is gonna help the people who will be left behind, like your family, like your children, like your relatives. And I think having money well kept to take care of your body because you have gone, then that is very important. It also helps us to reduce fundraisings, like during this particular season where everyone is having a burden somewhere. Having this, being a member of Africa Welfare Association will be beneficial, not only for you, but even for your other family members and significant others. Dr. Jenny Rongo says something very important, and I want to agree with her. If Evelyn says so, we gotta do it. She's very knowledgeable in many areas. That's a good one, and I must admit, only that Lini Tupasana. Steve Daniels, is there a waiting period?
Just like any plan, your health plan and all that, there is a 30-day waiting period, only 30 days. But in the event of an accident, that is waived. The reason the 30-day, we have to protect ourselves for this to be sustainable, for it to survive, beyond us. We have to guard that we are not just enrolling people who have walked into hospice care. So that's why the 30 days. It's not there to punish anybody. It's there to make the whole program be sustainable. But in the event of an accident, the 30 days then do not come in.
Another thing, Hally John is asking, what about those guys who are here in America as a tourist and family is in Kenya?
If you're in America, you are eligible. If you are in the diaspora, you don't have to be in America. You are eligible. Now, we will not be able to cover the family at home, but let's assume this scenario, you're not a tourist here, but your family is at home and you consider this is where you want them to be buried. You can cover them. That we can bring somebody the other way. We don't just take people to Africa. We can bring them from Africa. If for some reason somebody went to visit and they passed on, the rest of the family is here, we can bring them back home.
Very good. I have a question here. Dutawawa Inaina, a very good question asking, hi Captain, a quick one. What about if one joins and relocates back to Kenya? The same question was asked by Steve Daniels from Ohio, asking what happens when a member moves from diaspora to their home country and then passes away there?
That's a good question. If somebody bought it today and went to visit, you're covered. If you change your address to Kenya, remember, we do not cover people who are not in the diaspora. So what would happen is we would prorate. If you tell us now I'm back in Kenya, we'll terminate your membership, give you back what is left, or at the lapse of your membership, we will not renew it. But again, it is you to inform us that you went because we have no idea. We've gotten into a situation where somebody kind of didn't tell us the truth. And it got us into a bit of a fix, but we still honored what we said because they were already home for 2 years, and we do not cover it's not because we don't want to, but regulations. We have to adhere to those regulations, otherwise we're in trouble with authorities.
Thank you. There's a question that is being asked by somebody here. I didn't and get it. Elaine Mbithe, when you become sick and need medical or hospitalized, I'm not sure which question Elaine is asking, but maybe she will call you to get more information.
Yeah, maybe to that, maybe I'd say we don't cover any medical, but in the future, working with somebody some of you know very well, Ambassador Rikana Chiomburi, we're looking at how Africa Welfare down the road could actually offer those memberships who are in the diaspora group medical insurance, but that's not now, that's further down the road.
Thank you so much. I am so honored to have you. That is very passionate of you. I can tell that you are passionate about it. I don't know. I don't know what drove you into such a direction, but I must say it is very good. This is not just a philanthropic. I must say it is very, very, very important and much needed. So thank you so much. I don't know what you have to tell us before we conclude that particular segment.
I just want to remind everybody, including Jennifer watching in Vegas, 50% off if you do register today. I urge everybody, this is for all of us. So when we take pride of this solution by Africans to an African problem, it's all of you. You know, we're in this community together. We're able to work on these things and others. We look for ways to elevate each other. And one thing, I think I've had conversations with some of you on the side, the things that we keep on pulling each other down for, it's not worth it. You know, look for somebody, elevate them, and that's the way you move up.
Thank you. Mention something about the diaspora, the global diaspora One Voice.
The One Voice, I'm excited. When I was invited, Professor Diamwe welcomed me. I've met quite a number of people, Professor Gerono, Ralph, Opanda, who's going to be doing a show. Tomorrow, actually, on Saturday, I've been invited to a show by another member of the One Voice in London. So again, Umoja ni Nguvu, there's so much we can accomplish together. So as we say in the African saying, if you want to go far, you can go alone, right? Is it what they say? I might be wrong with my African saying, but together, really, we can achieve a lot more. And I'd invite everybody who is out there, always look at what to do and to do better each day.
Thank you so much. Other than the Africa Welfare Association, there's somebody else who will be asking, Lawrence Muraya, what else can I consult him about or consult him for?
My other passion is healthcare. So we do healthcare on a corporate level. We do consulting for organizations for diversity and inclusion. We advise large corporations on how to bring people of color into their boardrooms or into their management. But on the healthcare side, which diaspora also needs, we will help individuals to find or to discuss the needs that they might have. So the knowledge we have is for all of us. We don't charge, it's free. So reach out to us if you have any questions on the medical front, especially now some people are in the open enrollment. We have friends in Dallas. I think there's another Nganga in Dallas who does it. And on life insurance, my friend Evelyn, who's also a member, I think life insurance is a beautiful thing to consider. I was talking to a member of an Asian community, and he had an interesting question. He says, why do I see you guys always just crying at funerals? And he says, do you know what we do as a community? After the funeral, we know there's $5 million after we lay to rest that person. They discovered how to create wealth with life insurance. So we as Africans have not taken advantage of that. Vincent Mongare, who does this very well, he will tell you, are you going to leave a will or a bill? And Evelyn will also tell you that before you rush to buy that lottery ticket where the chances of winning are 1 in I don't know how many millions, buy your life insurance, you're guaranteed to win.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Your message to the young Kenyan diaspora men who are watching you, and they would love to hear from a success story.
Well, I don't know about the success story, but one thing I tell people, young men, young women, or anybody, if you believe in something, don't quit. Stay in that lane. Don't think the other lane will move faster. If you believe in something, you're going to be able to achieve it if you keep up the pressure. If you sustain, you'll be able to get there. People don't get where they're going because they keep changing direction. You want to go to Mombasa, but now you've decided, let me detour to Embu. Let me go to another place. When are you going to where you're going? So focus on the journey that you identify. You'll be able to get there. But to the young men, I think it's also important to understand the role of our African women in our lives. A lot of times we think they are there to slave for you. No, they are queens. So you have to treat them as such and understand that you treat them well. And I'll mention one interview I watched of a young lady in Kenya who was being asked questions that men would never be asked in an interview. As men, we have to stop doing those things and understand women are not objects. They're queens.
Wow, that is a nice closing point, because it will leave everything up there. And I guess that is very important. Thank you so much, Lawrence. I want, before you leave, I want to share this website because it is important. This is the website. Please just visit this website, the Africa Welfare Association. Remember to join tonight. There is the 50% discount. Professor Ndiangui says he is going to join next week. I don't know whether the 50% discount will be there. But make sure that you join. It is self-explanatory. There is the 100% repatriation expenses, the travel arrangement, the additional expenses, and the local arrangements. This is giving you a peace of mind. And you can just get to the website. You can be able to ask a question. And in case you need any further clarification, the numbers are there. We have the WhatsApp number that I just put on the screen. And there are other members here I see who can be able to give you information. I see Stella, I see Evelyn, I see somebody else who just gave me the numbers here. Martin Bogua, and this is important. So thank you so much, Bwana Lawrence. And have a very good night. Keep warm. I understand East Coast is snowy. Yeah.
Thank you, Captain. Na watazamaji wote na washukuru sana pale pote mlipo. Those in North America, have a good evening, a good night. And those in the rest of the world, have a good morning.
Thank you so much, and have a good morning. Have a good evening. Thank you. Oh, yes, that is beautiful. I must admit that is beautiful. And I want to conclude that program with this particular advert.
Expected and unplanned. Get peace of mind with Africa Welfare Association. AWA is a non-profit organization, and membership is open to all Africans in the diaspora. AWA covers 100% of the expenses involved in repatriation, transportation of the deceased to the home country. This includes funeral home and casket, plus flights for covered spouse and dependents. Upon arrival to home country, a $2,000 stipend is given to the family for any local expenses they may incur. AWA also covers funeral expenses, which include burial or cremation, should you choose to be laid to rest in your host country. Live your life confidently, knowing you are prepared to protect your family and ease their financial burden. Enrollment is simple. Contact us for more information. Phone +1 202 587 5639. WhatsApp +1 202 999 9175. Email info@africawelfareassociation.org or visit us at www.africawelfareassociation.org.
Wow, thank you so much. And before I conclude everything, allow me to first of all remind the people, hey, it's Christmas season, and I know that many people are looking to treat their loved ones, either your mom, your dad, your brother, your cousin, your girlfriend, your fiancé, or even that person you left at home taking care of a project, or even yourself. And I want to introduce to you a Bountiful Safaris. Bountiful Safaris, your number one choice when it comes to tours and travel back in Kenya or any other place internationally. You can trust Bountiful Safaris to go for your tour, to go for your holiday. Make sure that you call them. And for more information, listen to this.
It's Christmas season again, and in full seasonal spirit, we at Bountiful Safaris want to give you the bountiful Christmas experience.
My goodness.
Huh?
Explore our diverse culture with our different packages. Reconnect with nature in the Masai Mara. Let the ocean breeze give you wings in Watamu. And if you want to reconnect with African nature, join us and dance your heart out in our Samburu Christmas. The list is endless. Bountiful Safaris will be your Christmas Santa, fulfilling whatever wishes you have. Pick your destination and let Bountiful Safaris do the rest.
You must contact Bountiful Safaris.
Contact Bountiful Safaris on 0724 840482 or 0724 592707. You may also reach us at info@bountifulsafaris.com. Bountiful Safaris. Dream, explore, discover.
Captain RTV, the trumpet of hope. Captain RTV, Karubeta kamwe hoko. Karubeta kamwe hoko.
To our viewers who are watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. And we say goodbye.